Hey, just got in. Reading some of the comments, and so I'm going to deal with another issue that has to deal with this homosexuality thing, and that is adoption. And this is where things have gone awry. We got to understand that, and so let me just come straight out with it, is that personally I believe it never should have happened. I remember being really young and hearing a homosexual couple adopted. It was allowed that they adopted, and I don't think that ever should have happened. And since then it has gone forth to weaken the whole structure of what a family is. So at that point, whoever commissioned it they set the stage for that agenda to be played out, or to eventually lead to where it has today. I am very I'm sad to think that I didn't have any way of just even expressing my opinion. I wouldn't even have known how to even deal with it. A lot, and again, I blame a lot of Christians for not speaking their mind, speaking up, or not even really understanding the issues. And there are issues at understanding. Here's the problem. It's not whether or not the child will become homosexual or not. The problem is that environment will breed a situation where the child, as somebody put it in one of these videos, what does it matter? What does it matter? They're just two people. When you say that, that basically says, well, I don't have any rules or morals or guidelines, okay? So that is actually what that statement. And I see two people debating about it, and I appreciate not having to go about it all the time, but I do ask that everybody be respectful and not get angry, because when you get angry, your thought process doesn't even work anymore. And so the emotionalism, and I think that that's how a lot of people have been hit with this whole topic is from an emotional standpoint of view. Okay, here's the problem when it comes to Christians. It's not whether you have a baby or not. It's just, the attitude of, well, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. It matters because the first thing a homosexual couple will do is never teach them that, homosexuality is a sin. They'll teach them thieving is a sin. They'll teach them murder is a sin. They'll teach fornication is a sin. And they'll teach adultery is a sin. Maybe. Okay, but they definitely won't teach them that homosexuality is a sin. And more so, what they'll teach them is that God is wrong, God is not the truth, and that, that part of the Bible, don't love God and all that stuff. So then the issue is, as I said before, is not a flesh. We don't fight against flesh. We don't fight against other people. These are principles and principalities. So when basically what you're saying is that you don't have any principles about this kind of thing. And so, think of a world without principles. And so basically that's the problem. There are principles, at play here that guide life and create life and, create an environment. And when this child grows up without principles, then, they'll go for anything. Then you could brand them with a chip, like I hear the Bilderbergs are having, the Bilderbergs or the Illuminati are having a meeting and a closed meeting. So much for transparency. Transparent government. Why are these the most powerful people in the world getting together and not having, and the rest of the world is not privy to the information? That is definitely something wrong. Something gonna go wrong, and it's gonna be for us, So, these are the things. Now, really, I believe that these people and America have weakened America and have showed that America has not only become financially weak, but have also become, after 9/11, has all come vulnerable, as well, defensively weak, as well as morally weak. And so the reason why we didn't have these things in the state is because America had a sense of morals. It had a sense of principles. And to me, it's just obvious common sense. If two people, somebody is literally trying to argue this guy, and since your name is there, it's okay for me to mention your name because it's already public. It's trying to argue that a man can have a baby or a man can get pregnant. If you alter their human body or do something like that, which is psychotic or sick in the first place, if you start doing all these things, that's where the problem. Okay, so let me get back to the point. So this is where, again, adoption has been abused. Okay, so now, people say, oh, it doesn't matter, but really, it does matter, and it matters to Christians, because we do believe that there is life after death, and you are to watch out for your eternal soul. I do think that marriage, when you get I do believe that there are certain sins like suicide that you won't be able to turn back from. Okay, you can't change that mistake once you do it. Marriage, it's the same thing. Once you admit to people and witnesses people that I have committed to this sinful lifestyle, which a lot of homosexuals will not do. And again, I just want to tell you, I do love all people. It has nothing to do with this. But the whole fact of the matter is that, once you admit and say openly, and you admit and you bow down to this sin, just like if you bow down to another God, God said don't bow down to another God. Once you make those commitments, some of those are irreversible. Marriage is a lifetime, eternal commitment. And so we're concerned about your eternal soul. Okay, now I have never one day in a day of my life and preach hell. If you got Jesus, what the heck you worried about hell? That is not my focus, and I think it's really wrong for people to point to, oh, you're going to hell. I ain't never going to be the one to do that, because that's not what it's about. I don't even think Jesus talked about hell. I mean, he didn't talk about it as far as pointing his finger and sending anybody to hell. No one. Okay, so because hell ain't made for man. Hell is made for the damn devil. Okay, he just want to take you with him. He want company. Misery does love company. So anyway, so the thing about it is with the adoption. Now, believe me, this is how this. Let's just think clearly for a second. Follow me here on this. A woman gets pregnant. Okay, she gets pregnant, she's with a man, the man is abusive, whatever, hurts her, harmful, understandable. They divorce, he's a crazy old nut, right? They divorce. And really in the Bible, divorce, Jesus said divorce is really not there. It's only there because your hearts are hardened and you don't know how to forgive each other for adultery. But adultery is not really grounds for divorce. A marriage is an eternal commitment. Two will become one, period. You still married, okay? Our society has changed things a little bit, but there's a lot of issues and problems with that. And there's always been issues and problems. This is not new. There's been illegal divorces. There's actual statutes and limitations to sexuality. You just can't have sex with anybody. Minors. We have limitations. We have principles that should be. I also think they're a little bit too black and white. We need to be a little bit more careful to these young teenage girls who are walking around pregnant. They should deserve. If they get pregnant, they should have the right to get married above somebody who is sitting there ready to take their baby because they can't take care because they can't have their own. I'm not downing them, okay? But here's the thing. A woman gets hurt, gets divorced and stuff like that, right? Now you have a woman who is there, macho woman, a dominant female, a feminist, or whatever you have it called, and it's talking about, okay, I'll take care of your kids. A woman is scared. Another woman, she wants protection. She has a child. She needs help. And so are these little young girls. Not saying that anybody over 18 should be involved with a young girl, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is these young girls are getting pregnant by young people. So anyway, I can never get to this point, and I hope I'll be able to actually deal with it separately one time. But then a woman and a lesbian girl, she takes over. Now the woman, she turns her back on the man. She's bitter anyway. And that's why I really have a problem when people say gays are happy. They're not happy, you know, and they're not going to be happy just because they get married. So now they want to get married. And so so now the state says, well, we want another kid for the kid. Then go back to the man. You know, you can't have it. You know, it should be that lifestyle is a lifestyle that she's made from bitter, bad choices. And so, instead of dealing with that, now some lesbian dominant woman is telling her, well, we can have kids ourselves. I can provide that for you. And you know, and literally she's lying. So then she goes and fake the system and trick the system into giving them a child, and then raising that child into an environment which is unholy and will never glorify God, you know, and never have a means of redemption for your eternal soul, which of course you don't believe in, you know. But, you know, really a lot of it is Christians is concerned. Like I joke a little bit, you know, let me give you, since you don't have any morals, since it don't matter to you, borrow some of my morals, you know. I'm just trying to say, you know, that, I couldn't believe it when the first day I heard that, but I didn't have any means of doing it. And plus I was very young. I'm not, you know, like an old mature grown man where I can, you know, make judgments about stuff, where I can, you know, evaluate stuff. Okay. So, God bless you all. Love you all. I just want to, if this topic isn't, I'll keep talking about it, but I think that some light needs to be shined on it, and okay, shine your light on it, but here's our light, and our light is based on the holiness and righteousness of God through Jesus Christ, who absolutely loves all of you, so much so that God has given His only begotten Son, so that whosoever believes in Him shall be saved. God bless you all. Love you all.